And abortion,
hide a body. What, do you not know what assisted
medical
suicide
abortions
is?
are, you cannot trace that shit. You just show up and you say that you had a miscarriage, and that's that. Like, again, it's very different.
There are
I don't think,
specific
I don't
pills that
know
are
if you
used
guys know how big a
surgical
fucking
abortion. The
fetus
doctor's not
is.
going to pull out because you had a mis.
You know that there could be some, let's say, wives that poison their husbands and then they die. They just say, "Well, my husband just got sick and he died." Well, because of that, we should just allow murder then. Why bother criminalizing murder, killing, and whatnot? Because you could just secretly poison someone to death.
Carriage.
What?
I said they're in an early, especially if it's an early term. There are medical tools for a surgical abortion that the doctor's gonna have to pull out, and they're gonna have to write all that down in their report that they had to pull all these special tools out to perform the surgery.
Early
Yeah, they
term
wouldn't write
abortions
in the
are not
report that they did an
surgical.
illegal
I said
abortion,
there are.
dude.
Well, there are,
It's
depending
They're
on
not.
how early.
There's
Depending on
early
how
term
early we're
abortions are
talking
not
about.
surgical. They're
Okay,
medical.
How early are we talking?
can we all stop talking over each other? It really is very scattery in the headset. So I know if I can't understand what you're saying, the audience can't either, and it's just all chiming together. I'm sure you all have great points, and I'd love to hear them, and I'm sure the audience would too. But you have to take your turns. Okay, back to you.
Yeah, how early are we talking for when you think a surgical abortion begins?
Typically around like 3 months is when I think let me double check, but I think the long like as far along as you can have medical abortions is something like 3 months.
What do you mean when you say medical abortion? I'm just trying to understand what
medical abortion. Are you having this argument without knowing the difference between?
No, I was saying I'm talking about surgicals, and then you said medical. I want to understand.
Yeah, medical is about the pill. A medical abortion is the pill abortion.
Okay.
Surgical is when you go into the cooter.
Yeah, they have to do that as soon as the spine's formed, right?
No, it's about up to 10 to 11 weeks, so about 2 months. Again, which is when
do most women find out that they're pregnant?
I'm sorry, abortions are occurring. Most people who are far along enough to have a surgical abortion actually want the kid that they're trying to have, and so again,
when do most people find out that they're pregnant?
In the modern era?
That's such bullshit gaslighting when they try to say that. Like when they try to say, who wants a late term abortion? That's when they actually want the kid. Okay, well then why is it terrible when we don't want late term abortions then if no one wants it? Why do these people fight for having it for any reason? These people try to lie and gaslight by saying, well, no one wants it by then. By the way, no one's getting late term abortions willy-nilly. The thing is that if you were to ask them, okay, well, do you think that people should get late term abortions from willy-nilly? A lot of them would say, if that's what the woman wants. So it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know why they continue to be so slimy and just liars.
Usually within the month, but it's pretty quick to get an abortion, depending on where you live. I guess if you live in a rural area, it can be more difficult, but you can get one fairly quickly.
Remember, I always hear from you progressives is that people don't find out that they're pregnant until 8 to 12 weeks. Usually, that's when they don't find out because they just think they missed their period.
That's not.
Okay. Well,
I
neither of us
promise
saying
you,
that.
people
That's why I was
figure out
asking what your
usually
position
a
is.
lot earlier. It's not 8 to 12 because I promise you that the things happening to your body would.
When can they confirm that they're pregnant?
Extremely obvious. The earliest you can confirm that you're pregnant that I know of is like 2 weeks. However, wait. That would be because 2 weeks. They start dating it based on when your last period was supposed to start, essentially. And then it's 2 weeks after that.
You can take a pregnancy test, but those have
no pregnancy tests won't detect that early. You would have to go get a blood test.
Typically, as early as missing your first period, you can go piss on a stick, and essentially, if it's like the first day of your missed period and you haven't had it, you should be capable of pissing on a stick and it showing up as positive. Usually, it depends on the hormones. I think it's HCG.
For HCG, it depends on your HCG level. But they can't actually confirm that you're pregnant until about 8 weeks when they can do an ultrasound.
No, they can do a blood test.
They can
do a blood test, true, but that just confirms HCG levels. That's all it does.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah,
and then you can still receive
the pregnancy test does, just monitors HCG levels.
You can still receive an abortion.
I'm aware that you can receive an abortion, but considering the fact that most people can't confirm that they're pregnant, until about 8 weeks. All they can confirm is that they're producing HCG, which can be caused by a bunch of different
I
things.
would
not
say
just-
that
the
that's
point is,
inaccurate.
most people aren't waiting to get abortions until after the ultrasound.
most
I
people,
think I know some states vary, and just maybe for clarification purposes of the conversation, like Maryland here, before you get an abortion, you have to have an ultrasound. They actually put you through this whole procedure to promote pro-life in aspect. So you have to see the sonogram, you have to see the baby, you have to hear the heartbeat, and then they provide you with all of these different options besides just getting an abortion. So like some states have different requirements, if that helps.
that's true.
Okay, someone just linked me some CDC information.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Oh yeah, so right here, Chuck tries to pretend, or at least she goes, well, like she doesn't see anything wrong with her chat sending her all this information and helping her out. You know, her white knight chat, the one that are like, "Don't worry, honey, we got you." Yeah, here's your CDC study. Here's your talking points, so you can own the chuds. So she gets a CDC link from someone in her chat, and Steelborn and Speakeasy rightfully call her out and being like, "Hey, we're not debating your chat here." And she's like, "What? What's the big deal? What's the problem?"
let me see. It's
Are you
about
pulling up stats from your chat during the debate?
Why not?
someone linked me a CDC
Why not?
report
Shut the
on what
fuck up,
abortion.
Soy Pill. What a piece. See what I mean? Like, Soy Pill is such a sleazy, slimy piece of shit. Like, uh, you know, like I know Soy Pill knows that it's wrong. I know Soy Pill knows better. Chuck might be a dumbass, but Soy Pill's like clearly also white knighting and simping for her, because every time she's stuck or gets cornered or she looks stupid, he's right there to be like, to defend her. God.
take
That's
place.
great.
It's
I'm
not-
arguing with you guys, not ChatGPT, not the CD, or not whatever your chats are saying. I'm not arguing with your chat. I'm arguing with you. That's the fucking
Well,
most
I think
bad
it's
face shit
good
I've
to
ever
get.
heard ever.
If someone
fuck's wrong with
sends
you
me
people?
statistics, I think that that's fine.
Every
If
your
someone
study, if you
shows
show
me,
me it's stillborn. I mean,
I don't
I'm
like.
happy to
I don't
provide
know.
a study,
Isn't
but
it better
only
for us
upon
to like
request.
have
I'm not,
like
somebody send me this here. Let me pull it up for you. That way, you're not just arguing with me. You're arguing with all the people in the chat as well.
it's just
okay,
a
well, I
fact.
don't know
It's not
what
an
you want me
argument.
to say, man. Like, I don't. Soy Pill and I are both streamers. People are gonna link shit and talk to us throughout the debate. Like, if you do stream, that does kind of happen. I don't know what to tell you,
I'm
man.
aware of how that works. That doesn't
I
mean
know
you
what
have
to
to
Yeah,
tell you,
but you
man.
also had the
I
will
mean, do you want me to
choose
type it into
use it, that's
Google?
all.
Do you want me to type it into Google?
Just admit you need help and move
I
on.
think
Yeah,
it's.
Shut
seriously,
up.
I think
like,
it's.
you're just
Hold
getting outside
on,
help. That's
hold on,
bullshit.
hold on,
No.
children.
Yeah, I mean, what's the coach? She's trying like, I don't know what to tell you, man. People are gonna help me in my chat. Like, do they not understand? It's kind of like cheating. Like, in a little bit, it's like cheating. It's like, imagine if you were taking a test in school and your teacher goes and sees like your friend giving you notes or whatever, and it's like, hey, your friend's helping you with the test. She's like, what? Am I not allowed to have my friend pass me notes and help me with my test here? It's like, see, if she was any kind of good or even decent debater, she would at least have her notes ready to go without having to constantly look up things in chat GPT or her chat. Like, I know sometimes even the best of them, like even Andrew Wilson sometimes looks up things in his in chat GPT. So I'm not saying never do it, but to have your chat helping you, it's like, what's the point then? Like, can you not defend your talking points without the help of your chat? That's the whole point of it. It's like you can't stand on your own 2 feet without having your simp white knight chat propping you up. Like, what a worthless debater.
Now,
They
come
are
on. I
trying
think, Charlie, I think it's just deemed as bad faith. I know some other people, not necessarily here, but other big debaters have utilized stuff that their chat provides to them. And a lot of people call that out as bad faith. I am not, I'm kind of impartial to it, whether in either direction. But I think the notion is you should be getting those studies in advance and pulling all
Yeah.
of this data in advance for these
Well,
types
to be
of
clear,
things or
Sarah, he
whatever.
had asked
Yeah,
about
like
when the
prepare your
majority of
arguments
abortions
instead of
happen, and
depending
then
on
her
your
chat
Yeah,
chat.
happened
and
to
we
link
didn't
something
know,
that she had already
so
been Googling. This wasn't like, oh, I didn't know have an argument for that, but now I found one because it was in my chat.
That's
This was
literally
If it
what
was a
just
case of
happened.
I don't
Listen,
know,
we
I can
have-
look it up. That's
we
different than
have
saying,
the
"Give me my
we
chat
have the
settings."
internet. We have. I don't understand. We have access
You're
to
not.
all
What
I
this
you're
don't
arguing
knowledge.
with me, you're
understand.
not
Why would
arguing
we
with Google,
argue
you're not
about
arguing with
vibes
You
when
ChatGPT.
we
You're
are
haven't
arguing
given
with
literally
us an
just
use that
argument. You
access
just
to
linked
get
the
it
thing that
yourself.
you asked because you didn't have the stat yourself.
like I don't understand,
Wow,
man.
man.
We can just, if we have a question, we can just look it up.
The thing is, this point you've been making for the last like 20 minutes has no fucking bearing and no weight for your side of the argument. So I don't know even why you've been making these arguments.
Well, he asked a question.
Do you
I
even
wanted to
remember the
answer.
prompt of the debate, Mrs. I'm too smart for everybody?
Yeah.
What's the
To be fair,
prompt?
she just called you
Obviously, it's
stupid,
at the
which is
top,
much
dude.
more clear than how smart she is. So,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
said you guys can't comprehend this.
which
But
you have
I'm
demonstrated.
glad you're
once and
listening,
again
Soy
that you
Pill.
have
I'm
not.
glad you're
Yeah, and then even earlier when like Steelborn asked that question, like, "Oh, what do you mean by medical abortion or surgical abortion?" And she was like, "Are you really debating without knowing the difference?" Like she tried to make him look stupid. Meanwhile, she's relying on her simp and white knight chat for all her info. Like she is in no position to make anyone or call anyone or just how do you say insinuate that anyone that the other side over here are stupid when she can't even argue her own points by herself.
listening, buddy.
All right.
I think
Glad you're
Soy,
listening. Who wants that
Soy, why
shit,
don't you
bro?
throw out,
Easy.
pardon me, Soy, why don't you throw out another thought for us, please, so we can move on?
A whole different thought. I don't know. I mean, they
Or
still haven't really
something.
contended with our whole point, which is it seems like this demand isn't going away and the supply isn't going down significantly. But it's really hard to have the argument if you're not going to give a criteria for what is an effective decrease in abortions. I mean, again, I would concede that if you were able to completely eliminate abortion somehow with these like draconian laws across the entire United States, which we I think can realistically say won't happen, but you were able to reduce abortions by 50%, I would call that effective. Now, I don't think that's what's going to happen because one, there aren't going to be these like federal bans, and two, even if they are happening, a bunch of these states are not going to comply. So you have to contend with the fact that in doing these abortion bans, like Texas is doing, you're not actually getting the outcome that you want. And if they were to come on board and say, look, I think we should do a federal abortion ban and unlimited access to like birth control and contraception, I think that actually would work and that would be an effective thing. But the caveat there being that you wouldn't necessarily have to tie the access to contraception to that. What I think that is what the stats bear out.
Here, you keep saying I don't know what an effective means. Okay, I'll try this again. Right, it's a restriction on the abortion that produces a measurable decline in the numbers of abortions performed within that jurisdiction. All right, compared with the level of abortions performed before said restriction. Okay, so all this other shit you're bringing up doesn't fucking matter. We're talking about what happens when you ban it. You can say, oh, they're gonna go to another country. You think everybody's rich enough to go to another country? What are you talking about?
So again, if you're saying what's the effective number that's decreasing, and if your
I didn't
answer
give
is
you a fucking
any
number.
measurable number,
In one ear, out the
then-
other, bro. Do your little hat, bro. Flick it. It'll
so
help your
again,
brain work.
if you're
I mean, he's right because see, notice how Soy Pill keeps saying what's an effective rate. And so it's subjective, that term, what's effective, because Soy Pill already concedes that if you outlaw abortion, you make it completely banned across the United States, that yes, it would drive the abortion rates lower. So now he's turned it to effective, which is subjective. Like, how many is effective to Soy Pill? Is it do night abortion has to go down 50%? Abortion has to go down 100%. Abortion has to go down 20%. It could mean different things to different people. Unfortunately for him, that's not the prompt. The prompt is it effective? Are anti-abortion laws effective at reducing abortions? Soy Pill keeps doing this. He did this before where he keeps accepting these debates with like these prompts that he's set up to lose. It was the death penalty one was the last time this happened, and it was him and Radical Coder. And it was, is this an effective deterrent? And the answer is yes. And so they lost like immediately, but then they had to like kind of like cope and seethe and figure it out. And it's the same thing here. Like he's already conceded that it will reduce abortions. There's no amount in order to win. It's just, is it effective? Yes. So now Soy Pill has to direct it to his definition of effective, whatever that means. He never gives us a number.
metric for effective is literally any number is decreasing. I think that's incredibly conservative to say, well, if it goes down by 1, then it's effective. And if
Well,
you
that's
look
the
again,
prompt.
prohibition, reducing the number of people that drank, yeah, of course. But would anyone argue this was effective? No, because clearly that's the reason they repealed it. It did not have the intended effect of reducing alcohol consumption. So
All right,
my
I'll just
question to
grant
you
all
is,
this. I have a
what?
question for you, real quick. Let's just say that we
So just
banned it
shut up,
federally,
Soy.
right? And there was like 500,000 illegal abortions. Is that effective now?
If it reduced it by 66%, I would say that's effective. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what's happened at all.
But yeah, I
Well,
don't
how
think
would we
that's what
know?
happened.
You
It's
haven't
not
federally
happening
banned
in the
abortion in
US.
the United States. It's
Well,
not the
I
same
mean,
as Europe, where a country is the size
we're
of a state.
arguing about America right now, and we're talking about what has happened in
Yeah,
our
and there was
in our country.
22,000 more live births than expected.
Okay,
So
and
go
those
ahead,
rates
account
are
for that
going
one.
to go
Tell me
down as
where
they
did those babies
continue
come
to go
from?
down. As they continue to go down now. So while there was a little bump in the beginning when abortion was banned in specific states, that fertility rate is still going down.
I'm not
so,
arguing fertility rate. I'm just saying
know,
if there
again,
were more babies
22,000
born,
live births
then
this year. Next year, less.
The more babies born,
It
you're
goes
attributing
down
that entirely to the
nationally. That's
abortion
not the
rate, and she's
same
talking about how the
thing.
birth
It doesn't
rate is
go
actually
down
No,
in
no,
said
it did. So if
states.
you looked at any of the links that I linked in the beginning, you would see that yes, in states with abortion bans, while there was a mild uptick after the bans were put in place, they did start to decline
It's national
the
rates.
year after. No, in
No, it's not.
states with bans, if you look at the University of Houston study, Texas had a couple of percentages of fertility increase, and then the next year it started to go down. So again, this is where we're at. They
yeah, we
go
would agree
down.
that there's other factors other than just the limiting of abortion that would
Of
contribute
course,
to
yeah,
the
for
birth rate,
sure.
right?
But again,
Right, but
it doesn't
you
seem.
can't keep bringing out the 22,000 number and be like, well, that's the abortion thing. And then clearly, when we look at the studies of directly controlling for these abortion laws and showing, hey, this
Yeah.
is not the thing that is causing births to go skyrocket. It's kind of
I'm not even saying it's
why
causing
she's
births
bringing
to
it
sky.
up.
I'm not saying my claim isn't that it's causing birth to skyrocket. It's that there's 22,000 babies now that were born because they
Mhm.
weren't aborted in the states that had
You don't
abortion.
actually know that though.
Well,
This
I
is
thought, yeah,
the
I thought you
study that I
just said
mentioned.
there are
It's
other
because of
effects.
The
abortion.
Like,
states
what do
that
you mean?
banned it.
You
They
don't know
tracked the
if it's
states that
because of
banned it.
abortion. You can't like hold us to that standard with you don't know if it was blah 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 blah. It was related to abortion. And
They
then have
tracked the
like,
14 states that banned it in the United States, and there was
Okay,
22,000
yes,
more live births than
and
they
now those
anticipated.
fertility rates are declining.
That's
So,
great.
So what
That doesn't
about
mean
it?
that those babies are being aborted. What the fuck's wrong with you? That does not
No,
logically follow.
Stillborn, you got to
Okay, but that
understand.
also
You would
doesn't
have to
mean that because
establish.
of the abortion
Charlie,
ban
wait,
that
give
those
me-
kids
give
were
me a sec,
born.
Charlie.
Like if we want to play stupid games.
No, Steelborn, you would have to establish that these people have births that said, I would have aborted my baby, but because it was illegal, I did not. And that is why there is a baby now. That is the only way that this stat at all is supporting your argument.
Are there any surveys out there showing this by chance? Did anybody pull anything like that?
No, all we have are the stats on fertility rates in Texas and California in 2022, 2023. So again, in Texas, we see the rates go up a little bit in 2022, and then they also start to decline. Not at the same rate as California, but they're declining. We also have the stats on, again, abortions in states bordering states with abortion bans. Those rates went up, which obviously we can assume that some of that was because of, bans in surrounding states. So people leaving the state to get abortions. And then we do, know that abortion bans in countries with complete abortion bans don't actually lead to less abortions. Just unsafe abortions.
These people, they always like well, first of all, I like how they always like try to compare like legal abortions to illegal abortions, and they call it like safe abortions and dangerous abortions. It's all dangerous. It's all dangerous. Even the safe ones are dangerous. But regardless, it just doesn't logically follow that if you outlaw something, then it just skyrockets or whatnot, or it stays the same. It just doesn't logically follow. And yet they always try to like use surveys or stats or to try to prove their point. But again, it's just like there's some things that you don't have to rely on the surveys and the stats because it just doesn't logically follow. I would like to ask them, how does it logically follow that abortions actually skyrocket when you make them outlawed? when you criminalize it? Like, how does it logically follow? What's the reasoning logic behind the people's brains when you outlaw it?
Fertility rate was higher than expected in the 14 states with abortion bans for the following groups: racial minorities, including non-Hispanic, Black, Hispanic, other races and ethnicities, about 2% higher than expected. Unmarried individuals, 1.8% higher than expected. Younger individuals, aged under 35, 2% higher than expected. Medicaid beneficiaries,
Is this all the
4.4%
immediate after the
higher than
ban? Because if
expected.
so,
Hold
this is
on, let him
exactly what she
finish.
was talking about.
No,
Why
this
these
was
just like
This is the study she sent. Why don't you just shut up for a second?
No,
I
this
can
No,
isn't
this
the
is not the
study
study
that
that
I
she
saw.
sent. This is
Well,
the
it
study that I'm
actually
referring
says
to.
the
Okay,
same thing in the study you
let's
sent.
just let Stillborn finish. Nobody let him finish.
Okay, well,
Let's
I
just
would like
finish
to go
his-
after him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Additionally, the impact in southern states was approximately 2 times higher than non-southern states. Quote from Dr. Suzanne Bell, PhD, from the Bloomberg School's Department of Population. These findings indicate that many pregnant people were unable to overcome barriers to access abortion services. Seems like
Right.
they didn't get fucking abortions and then they had babies. Isn't that crazy?
So since 2022 and post-ops, fertility rates in banned states declined 2% versus 3% in ban-free states. Post-ops, the public seems to have adjusted its fertility behavior in recognition of the transformed scene.
What's the
Adjustments
prompt?
include multiple factors. Many women in banned states access abortion in other states or through self-managed abortions at home.
Is the prompt that banning abortion will increase fertility rate, or is it that the abortions will go down? Which is what we're arguing.
You didn't
Well, the
listen to the last
abortions
thing she
did
just said.
minimally go down, but now they're, continuing to go up in surrounding states. So again, this would indicate that women are leaving
In
the state to
surrounding
have
states,
abortions.
not
These
in the
findings
Abortions
states
indicate
with
in
that
the
the
many
United
pregnant
ban.
States
people were unable
raised.
to overcome
Not in the
barriers to
states
access
with the
abortion.
ban. Your
Yeah, in
original argument, it was
2022,
with the
in
state with the
2022,
ban.
absolutely, for
Yeah,
sure. But you didn't,
backpedal
I
now, though.
literally initially said that. And then I said in 2023, the fertility rates declined, indicating that based on the study that I linked by the University of Houston, women were leaving the state to get abortions.
That doesn't logically follow
This is
because the
in the
fertility rate went
study.
down. They were going to get abortions. That does not logically follow.
That the fertility, because, okay, so if there's less children being born, we
Let me
can
ask you-
determine that people are either not having sex or they are getting abortions or they're using contraception. And this study does indicate that, like, people leaving the state to get abortions was a part of that, loss of fertility.
We're not even arguing that that's not even part of the case. But you're just asserting that that's the entirety of what happened. Is that the only reason the fertility rate went down is because people went to other states.
No, that's
Rather
Well,
not.
that's
than
not at
maybe
all
they
what I
started
First of all,
said
that's
at
not
all.
what
If
she's
you had
couldn't kill
listened
the
to the
babies.
words out of my mouth, also could have
All
given you
right,
proof.
all
Yeah, I can
right,
help you
all
out here because she read
right.
this out loud, and I'll read it out loud for you one more time. So adjustments. So this is the things that the people in the study looked at. Adjustments include multiple factors. Many women in banned states accessed abortions in other states or through self-managed abortions at home. Greater vigilance around contraception. Increases in permanent contraception through tubal litigation and vasectomy. Refraining from sex. Moving out of banned states to avoid these issues. Some who would like to be pregnant are choosing not to due to the fear that if they have complications, doctors will not be able to render aid. So there's all these different factors that are into it that are considered by the study. It's not just, oh, it's the fertility rate and we're basing it entirely off the fertility rate. They looked at all of these things. That's the point.
Right, which is what I said.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
right,
so
I know,
you're
I'm just
saying that
repeating it
they
for 'em.
either got contraceptions or they just stopped having sex. So they did other things rather than killing babies.
Well, to be clear,
So
one
they
of those
changed their
factors
behavior because
was
abortion was banned?
self-managed
Was-
abortions.
I
And
think the
then
fact
going
that it
to other banned
changes their
states.
behavior should show you it's effective.
I mean, also stillborn, not all of the extra babies born were born because those women could not get abortion. How many of those babies can you determine were born because those women could not access abortion? Can you
I don't
can
know.
you prove
Ask
that? Because
Dr.
otherwise
Suzanne
we're
Bell.
we are kind of in
How
the
do you
same
determine at-home abortions were done? How do you determine that? They just
surveys
said
and
it.
studies.
They just told
They
you.
just said it.
Oh, so it could be a bunch of lying bitches on there to fuck their study up. Good.
Well, I guess
What
you know.
we
I guess
talking
these like
about?
people that
I mean, I
dedicate
guess
their
those
life
I
to
guess
making
those
this data
bitches
did
I
not
guess those
consider the
bitches could
lying
lie
bitch
about having
phenomenon.
kids because
So
they
You
couldn't
can you can
access
use
abortion.
self-reporting
Lying
studies
bitch.
and we're using the math in the
And I'm
states
using a
that the
study
ban
from
happened.
Texas.
Well,
I am
Abortion
wait,
using a
went
you're
study
using the
down.
from Texas,
You're
a
Right?
using the
state
math
with an
speakeasy.
abortion
Did you
ban.
consider that
So
those
I mean,
scientists to be lying bitches? Did you consider that?
I guess you know what?
Did I
Maybe
say
I
the
didn't consider
scientists,
that
you
they could
moron?
be
Maybe I don't
lying
know. Well, how do
bitches.
we
People
know?
who
How can we believe
self-reported.
these scientists? Are we
I
kind of
never
just make stuff
considered that
up?
women are naturally inclined to
Okay.
lie because they are devious whores, and that's why Eve ate the apple. Never
Way to just
considered
straw
that.
man every part of the position.
God, she is worthless. She is worthless. I don't know why she's even there. I mean, first of all, she's like knitting or crocheting the whole time. Is she even paying attention to the debate? Like, is that why like she's came off even stupider than before? Is because she's not even fully paying attention to it? Is that why she has to rely on her chat? Jeez, worthless.
Or it was the fact
Yeah, like
that
that's
there are many
every
feminists
time
I mean,
who
you guys
most
you
get
definitely
said
cornered
lie
on
about getting
those are,
abortions
you
to
never
make numbers
considered
go
that
up. Do you
those
think
are
that's
lying
possible?
bitches. You never considered that those are
yeah,
lying
it's,
bitches.
you're
Like, what do you
using
want me to say
self-reported
to that?
studies
Like,
that
that's
said
so
the women told them that they had a self-abortion at home.
Yeah, okay, and
Hey,
so
right,
the,
and so
the
you're
ladies,
yeah,
the
And,
you're
ladies
and this
told
is
that
we're supposed to be like,
women,
yeah,
women,
that's
en
actually
masse. All these
Hold
women got
on,
together
hold
in their
on.
little witch out back alley
They're
witch
just
meetings and
punching
said,
themselves
let's all
right in the
lie
stomach
about our
because they
abortions.
can't get an abortion. Right?
All
Is that what
right,
they're doing
next.
now?
also say if
Let's
we're
move it.
Are
Let's
you
move it.
kidding? This Charlie person here, if she got this survey given to her, she would lie and say she did 7 of
Hey,
them at
speak
home
easy.
just to
Can you
keep
take off
abortion
your
on
hat?
the
I
line,
really
bro.
want to see your
What are you
hairline.
talking about?
Can you take off the hat? I want to see the hairline.
So now Chuck tries to shame Speakeasy. You know, she has this theory that he's like bald under there, but she knew if he were, what does that have to do? Which she's done that before. Remember against Andrew when she was like, "Oh, look, I have a stronger jawline than you," and so now she, when she's losing, that's what she's resorts to is just like body shaming people because she's absolutely worthless at debates.
Dude's got a ponytail. Like,
My hairline matches yours, and my hair is better than yours too. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, take it off
Just
then,
sit
princess.
yourself down,
Go
yeah,
on,
with your little
Rapunzel.
fucking
Take off the hat.
man
Take it
jaw
off.
over there.
Man jaw.
only if Swipe Bill takes off the hat.
I'll take off the
Swivel
hat
has hair.
after Speakeasy takes off the hat, I promise.
Yeah.
Listen, this
Oh.
He's
flirting
not
you're
gonna
doing,
do it. He's not
not
gonna do it.
interested. All right.
Ooh.
By the way, you could see that Speakeasy, like behind it, you could see that he has like a ponytail back there. So he actually has like long hair, which if she actually, used her brain at all, she could see that. But again, she's losing so badly, she has to resort to be like, "Oh, you're bald. I think you're bald."
Ooh, ooh.
Not interested. I'm married, Charlie. Sorry.
Balding,
Quit this
balding,
flirting
and no
shit.
jawline.
Ain't
Holy
interested.
fuck,
Oh,
dude.
balding fallacy, not an argument.
Miserable.
Balding.
Okay.
She always resorts to those fallacies: the appeal to jawline fallacy, appeal to hairline fallacy.
All right. Who's got another point to
Oh.
make, please?
I'd love to hear them contest my like prohibition point. Like I think that was a pretty interesting
Oh,
one.
the go-to.
I don't think that the prohibition was necessarily effective. I think that it was effective in getting a lot of the law-abiding citizens to stop drinking. That's true, but you also just basically funded a bunch of organized crime through the mob and the mafia.
Okay, but
Like,
why,
I think
why
that
would
that
you
is
say,
the
why
case.
would you
I
say you
agree.
wouldn't see a similar phenomenon? Is it literally just because more people want alcohol? Like, would you not see at least some scale representation?
Yeah, I
of
think that it
illegal
actually.
abortions
No,
at
I don't
this?
think it would be the same, and here's why. Not only that, Christians have no moral problems with alcohol whatsoever.
Oh, that's
Well-
not accurate at all. There are
What was the
certainly
first miracle
Christians
Jesus
that
performed,
do-
lady? I just want you to answer that real quick.
do
What was the
have
first
an
miracle
issue
Jesus
with
performed,
alcohol.
Charlie?
Mormons, for one, I believe.
I don't think they're
that's
Christians,
one
anyways.
sect of- Well, that's a no true Scotsman fallacy.
No, it's
They
not
go
true.
into
No true
like-
Scotsman fallacy. I have specific criteria for who is and is not a Christian.
Okay, well then that's silly.
No, it's not.
It is.
No,
say,
there,
I mean,
Hold
there
on,
are
ready?
very
Look, that-
specific.
Didn't John Smith or ever literally just write himself into the Bible? The Mormons aren't like true Christians.
Christian MAGA guy rammed
demonstrate
his
this.
truck into that Latter-day Saints church and shot a bunch.
there
of
it
them.
is.
Clearly, they don't
That was
see
a
each
real
other as the
Christian.
same. To be fair,
I'll
That was a
demonstrate this
real
real quick.
Christian
I'll demonstrate
who
this
ran
real quick,
that
Charlie.
church in the Mormon
Hey,
church.
I don't believe Jesus Christ
See
ever
that first
existed,
thing
and
you
I like
do,
to
go to
curb stomp
laughing
babies
about
for
people
fun. Am I a
dying.
Christian?
That's the left for you.
You don't
Clown
believe
show.
Jesus Christ ever existed?
That's why you wear the
Answer
clown
the
hat,
question.
bro.
I don't believe he ever
suits you,
existed,
buddy.
and I like to curb stomp babies. Am I still a Christian?
I feel like believing in Jesus is like kind of the point of.
Oh, so there are
That's like
criteria
the-
to who
that's
is
like
or is not
what-
a Christian. It's not
Yeah,
just whoever
man,
fucking
and
says
it's
it.
that, and it's that.
Wait,
It's
the
the whole.
Mormons
That's the only
Mormons
one.
not
You just have to
believe in
believe he
Jesus and want to
existed.
curb
You just
stomp
believe that.
babies?
A bunch of atheists believe he
Mormons
existed.
do believe in Jesus, man. Like,
All right,
I
so do
don't-
a
we
bunch of
are
atheists.
we
I
are
believe he
so far.
Doesn't Islam, don't they believe Jesus? Don't they believe Jesus Christ? Like, don't they believe Jesus existed and stuff like that? That's not the only criteria that makes you a Christian, lady.
Off track. Bring it
What are
back
you
around,
talking
please.
Yeah, the first miracle Christ ever performed was making wine for a celebration at a wedding. Christians do not find alcohol to be immoral.
Didn't
I mean, it
is it
depends on the
true?
state.
I'd have
Considering
to
the
look
fact
this
that the
up, and I don't know
overwhelming
if it was
Seventh-day
majority of the
scattered.
Adventists
country
are
at that
also
time
opposed to
was
alcohol as
Christian.
well. So Mormons,
Yeah, well,
Seventh-day
did Christians
Adventists.
not actually like drive prohibition? Like they were like the Puritan people. Like
No,
isn't
it was
like kind of
women. It was the women's temperance movement that drives
Christian
prohibition.
Yeah, it
women?
was women.
What does all this matter to the debate?
Yeah,
I actually
exactly.
agree. I don't think that whether or not religious people would reject or alcohol or not has anything to do with whether or not you would see a similar phenomenon of prohibition if you were to ban abortion nationwide. So
Yeah.
Is the majority of the United States religious?
yeah,
I don't know,
excuse me,
actually.
pietistic Protestants
You
Protestants
would
were the
see
ones who led prohibition.
cartels start taking over abortions. Is that
So
what
like, what
saying?
about Catholics and like
If
Catholic
we
and
had
Orthodox
if we had a
Christians or
nationwide
Muslims?
ban on abortions, we would have speakeasy abortions. Is that what you think?
I mean, literally, this is what
Yeah,
happened. This is literally what happened when abortion was more of a more illegal in places. You would have doctors
More of a
doing-
problem.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
why didn't it happen
speakeasy
before
abortion.
abortion was available? Why didn't it
It
happen
did.
before
It
abortion was
literally
available?
did. There's like tons of
Oh
accounts.
yeah,
of
there
this
was just
happening.
a great
There's also
epidemic
a
of
shit
people
ton of
aborting their
historical-
children before
Yes.
abortion.
Yes,
Yes, there was.
yes,
They
this
did
is
it
happening
before,
all the
like,
time.
that
Yes.
was
No, we did.
doctors,
We did those
midwives
awful
would do it.
things.
It
We
was
took
the,
those women who were
what
killing
is
babies
mugwort? The
and we
mugwort
burned them at the
plant
stake
is
for
frequently
horrible
used
people. I
as an abortificant. So there's been like traditions around the world. People have been
Pointing out
receiving
these
abortions.
like the
Abortion also
minuscule
wasn't always
against the
illegal
majority
Do you
in the
know
US.
there's
doesn't.
African
I think
tribes that
before
just
the
leave babies out for
1900s
lions at night? Did you know that one?
Yeah, I
happens
do know
too?
that.
Is that
So
bad?
before the
Did they do that or no?
1400s,
Should Christians go in and tell the Africans they shouldn't leave their babies out for lions?
man, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. Anyway, I do think
She can't even say that Africans shouldn't leave their babies out for the lions. She can't even say that. Probably because it's all a bunch of black and brown people doing it. Like if we were to say, hey, like white people are leaving their babies out for lions or something, then she'd probably have no problem condemning it. But see, here's the thing: she can't answer that. It's above her pay grade because on one hand, she knows leaving your babies out for the lions bad, right? However, on the other hand, it's black and brown people doing it, and she can't go against them. So that's why she can't say anything about it.
that
Christians shouldn't stop Africans from leaving their babies out for lions. Wow, this is
again,
fucking crazy.
abortion wasn't illegal in the US. Let me double check because abortion was legal up until like 4 months. I'm pretty sure if you
No,
were
not
not
national.
I think that was
It was a
state.
thing.
um,
That was a state's jurisdiction thing. It was banned in most of the United States.
Ask
No,
your
this
chat;
was
they
like-
might be able to tell you.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, they could actually tell me things. Speakeasy, I'm sorry if you're not a streamer or you don't have enough of a chat to like send you
Yeah,
some
I'm
links.
definitely not a streamer. No chat over here. You're right. And
don't
this
know who
has
you are.
what to do with what I said?
The dude literally has like a YouTube channel and he streams, but he's not a streamer. Like, what the hell is she talking about?
hello to
Well, you're-
Speakeasy's non-chat. Hi
You're
guys.
busy about it.
I'm definitely so pissed. You got me right, Chuck.
I won't take the hat off. I mean, she kind of clocked you
Yeah,
there.
I
I'm pretty
kind of
upset
got you,
about that.
man. I got you.
I think I have a
Yeah.
thumbnail with you, not with a hat on though.
Can you paste it in the bottom right here, sir?
You
The
can go
picture speaks with no head
back.
on.
I'm pretty sure it's I don't know if I might have had to remove that one,
I
but
mean,
it
I
would
can
still
make
be
my
over
audience
on.
See, like this is such a shit show of a debate because these guys are Soy Pill and Enemy Charlie. They're both dummies, so they have to keep going back to the hair thing. And now Soy Pill is like stalling the debate by saying, "Oh, could you post up a picture of Speakeasy's hair on the in the lower corner?" Like this is such a shit show. It comes to an end pretty soon because pretty much these two have nothing. They are dunces.
Yeah, but I
Rumble.
want everyone to see it. You know?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. The last thumbnail, what you did the one-on-one with Mel, and it was there was no hat on that picture. I remember because I pulled it from your, I think, Instagram or
it-
something.
Hairline?
Yeah,
Can we
just
Uh,
go
yeah,
look at his
Can you confirm
Insta.
the hairline?
I do have a question for Charlie.
He
Charlie, do
had
you think
he
that
had
if,
the rose, I think. Sorry, go
Charlie,
ahead.
do-
Go ahead.
sorry.
Get us back on point.
Charlie, do you think that if if there was a federal ban on, let's just say, handguns in the United States, that the
Mhm.
number of people who own handguns would necessarily go down?
I'm not sure because I do think that there's like already a lot of guns in the US circulating. And I do think that, like you said, 3D printers. And also I think
never
that
said anything about 3D printers.
black
Speakeasy
markets
said it.
selling guns
Oh.
would crop up everywhere. So again, I think that you would have to get rid of all the handguns in the U.S., and that would be extremely difficult because
Well, do you
we
think
have
like
a lot of
law-abiding citizens would get rid of them at least?
No, we would have to get rid of all guns in the entire fucking world. All right. That's what we would have to do. At the very least, like in Mexico or Canada, like our bordering countries, like we would have to, in order to completely do a gun ban, it would have to be get rid of everywhere in order for that to work. And even then, like she said, there are 3D printers and whatnot. So
No.
I don't think that there's
I know
such
a lot of
thing as a
law-abiding citizens
perfectly
who would not
law-abiding
follow the
citizen.
law.
I
if
mean,
Well,
they
then
banned
you
most
have
of
to
us
account for
speed,
Australia
most
at
of us
that point,
jaywalk.
or England. Any of these countries that have banned firearms, and then almost nobody has firearms.
When did they ban them? Because the U.S. I think is unique in the fact that we have more firearms than people. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
we have 1.5 firearms per person.
Yeah, we have a lot of guns, man. That's a lot of guns. I think it
Hell
would
yeah.
be very difficult to get rid of them completely and totally. So maybe in like 20 years, the amount of handguns would decrease. But I
Okay.
think it would be exceptionally difficult to,
Let's just say it's 20 years, and then let's just say like 90% of the handguns are gone at that point. By 20 years time, was that law effective?
I mean, yeah, if that
yeah,
happened,
90%
sure.
So do you
of the
think that
guns.
if we
Yes, that
federally
would be an
banned
effective
abortion
law.
and then we started societally shaming women who go and get abortions and go like, show my abortion, wear the pink hats and everything like that. We shame those people for being
Well,
gross
you'd have to get
degenerates and
everyone on
telling them
board
they
with
shouldn't be
that.
killing their children. Do you think that over the course of maybe 20 years, the number of abortions would decrease?
Well, yeah, stillborn. I agree with this, but you understand that you saying that the shaming is doing so much of the weight carrying.
Oh,
here, where
yeah.
it's like, yes, if every single person was on the same page as abortion, then maybe we could do this after 20 years. And it's not just the law; it's including this societal pressure where everyone agrees that this abortion thing is abhorrent. We should shame.
That's not
them.
everybody
That's not
agrees.
the case.
I didn't
Well,
say it's
you
everybody
just said-
agrees. All
you
the
just
women who
said,
are getting
how are we
abortions
going to
won't
shame these
disagree.
people if half the country don't think the way that you do and don't want to shame these people? Like, obviously,
Let's
this is
just
not
say
gonna
that,
be
like, well,
effective.
do you think that,
Like, most people
do
don't
you
care
think when,
that.
like, let's just, like, for example, like gay marriage, when that first started, do you think that the overwhelming majority of the country was in support of it?
You mean like in 2010, or like you talking about like back when like Gavin Newsom was marrying people like illegally?
No, let's say like when Obergefell took effect. Like, do you think that like the overwhelming majority of the country who was still Christian at the time, they were massively in support of this, or do you think that the quiet or the loud minority actually voiced their opinions and started shaming people who were against it?
I mean, do
I
we
know
have
it wasn't
stats
an
on
overwhelming
this?
majority, but yeah, I can
Do
look
we
up. I
have
don't know.
stats on this? Oh my gosh. See, they always have to appeal. Do we have stats on this? Like these people, they always like play retarded. And I know they are retarded, but they especially amp it up when they're losing, when they have no arguments. Then they have to try, well, is there stats on this? Like we should just start doing it with them. Every fucking claim that they make, is there stats on that? Is there stats? Because they make a lot of claims themselves. I mean, right now they're making the claim that will show like pretty much that social shaming like wouldn't work, even though social shaming does work. Prime example, how come the N-word isn't common to say? How come we don't say the N-word everywhere? Because people get shamed for it. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to say the N-word, but people don't say it because of social shaming.
Top of my
Or
head.
just-
Do you
just-
mind if a
just based
chatter
on
gives it
information.
to me, or am I allowed to Google it? I don't know what.
I don't care if you
percentage
Google it.
was.
I'm just asking, like, do you
Okay.
think the overwhelming majority of the U.S. was in support of it? I would say no. I don't think that they were.
So okay,
Nah,
yeah,
soy
then
pill,
I
you
see what
gotta
you're
ask
saying. So you're-
Chuck's chat, buddy.
Uh,
You gotta ask Chuck's chat.
Chuck's okay. Charlie, yeah, can Charlie's chat give me the opinion polling on a Burgerfell when it's passed, please? But before I answer that, I see what
Hello,
you're trying
chat.
to say
Can you
is
do this?
if a minority of people, say the anti-abortion Christian right, are to shame people, eventually they could influence opinions along with a Supreme Court case to the point where it becomes the overwhelming norm. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. Like, do you think that could be the exact
I think
same
it
thing
could
that
happen, but I just think there's enough people that are very vehemently pro-choice that this is not going to be something that you can just easily influence through like culture and shaming. Like,
Just
I
like there are
yeah, see, right there. He just made a claim right there. I mean, yeah, I guess it's possible, but I just don't think that you could influence people, shame people into thinking like he's just claiming that people are so like they just love their abortion so much that no amount of shaming whatsoever, no amount of laws or shaming will affect that, which obviously is not true. Like you could shame people into anything, into believing anything. We live in a culture of it, but he's just saying that. This is just his opinion.
plenty of people that are vehemently anti-gay marriage.
Well, yeah, but the difference being some people have it ingrained in their system that like, yeah, I think that gay people are wrong and like there's really nothing you can do to change those people's minds. But a lot of
yeah, I
people
think
that
there's
did
nothing wrong
change
with
their
killing
minds
babies.
had
Yeah,
very
just
kind of
follow
like
that.
closeted, like, I don't really like these people for reasons that I can't properly explain. And then when they meet and are introduced with gay people in the culture, they realize, oh, I don't really give a shit if these people get married. So I don't think these things are analogous in the same way that like I don't think the reason a bunch of people are pro-abortion, they'd suddenly become anti-abortion if you're like, hey, look at this abortion video, like, isn't this so gross? And it's like, well, yeah, but I still think it should be okay for them to get it.
Well, there are plenty of people.
Imagine admitting that right there. Like, yeah, like I've seen abortion videos, and yeah, it's gross, but I think people should still be allowed to get it. Like, that's fucking sick.
Like this is gonna be anecdotal, but I've spoken to plenty of people who say, I agree with your arguments against abortion, but I see, like the emotional appeals that the pro-choicers make, and it tugs on the heartstrings, and you have to like that makes sense. Like these people get emotionally blackmailed into agreeing with these people, even though they know it goes against what their reason is telling them. Do you think
Okay.
that's not the case? That wasn't
But
the case.
how are
with,
we
let's say,
going to
gay
get?
marriage?
I mean, apparently these emotional blackmailers are really powerful. How are we going to overcome this? Is
Yeah.
it like the laws get passed and suddenly these emotional blackmailers are going to just disappear? Like, I don't know. Like, it
Do
seems
you
like
think
it's
there was
pretty
people who
effective.
emotionally blackmailed for gay marriage when it first happened?
I don't know if I would
Or
call
before
it
it happened?
emotional
A lot of
blackmail,
emotional
but
blackmailing
I
was
think a
going
lot
on.
of people said, "Hey, don't you care about me and my ability to be happy and
Yeah, like
It's funny. He's like, what's funny is that right there he goes, I don't think it was emotional blackmail. I just think people said, hey, don't you care about me and my ability to have a family and all this bullshit. In other words, emotional blackmail. Yeah. He just contradicted himself in the same sentence.
what just love is love, man. Like it's just gonna go to
I
that,
think
man. Just love
sometimes
is
people
love.
have
Like
their
we
minds
should.
changed. I don't think that's necessarily blackmail. I think it's just like minds being changed sometimes. Also,
Their minds being changed through emotional blackmail.
If
okay,
we're not
my
legally
chat
married,
actually
then
pulled up a
then I
poll
Wait,
can't
on
be
gay
there
at
with
least
my
marriage.
chat is
husband's in the
speaking, guys.
hospital.
We all got
My
a debate done now.
chat did pull up a poll. 2015, 60% of Americans supported same-sex marriage. 2014,
Why does she even show up to debate? Why doesn't she just have her chat right there on the screen to debate? Why does she even fucking bother? She is worthless.
55%. 2013, 53%. 2012, 53%.
Obergefell was 2010.
2011,
Just so you know,
45%.
right?
2010, 52%. So
Oh no, it's
yeah,
2015. Oh my god, what the fuck?
no,
Wow,
it was
so it was a
2013,
majority
I
5
think.
years before Obergefell was passed. That's crazy. Sounds like it's not that analogous.
No,
Yeah,
it seems like people managed to, through rhetoric and the very, very, very loud minority of homosexuals in the United States managed to, basically just yell at people and socially shame them if they were
It's
against
not a
this
minority.
behavior.
All homosexuals are annoyingly loud, stillborn. You and I both know that. Come on.
They are still the
that's
minority. They're a
true.
minority in the country.
Oh, compared to everyone else. Okay, I thought you meant
Yeah,
like
like they're
minority
like
gay
what,
people.
like I think in totality, like 1%, maybe.
Yeah, it's not many, not many.
But they managed to get this law passed that made it federally legal. Isn't that crazy? Like,
Do you think they're just so good at emotional blackmail that they got 53% of the country
I
on
didn't
board?
say
Or is
all
it
of it was
most?
emotional blackmail. I'm just saying that.
What
Do you think
percentage do you
I'm saying
think
there was
is attributed to
blackmail
that,
involved?
and
Yeah,
what
how
percentage
many
is
were,
people
how
just
many
don't
people
care
were
if gay people
emotionally
get married?
blackmailed and people going like, actually, it's not that big of a deal. Who
If we're
cares?
not legally married, then I
Actually,
can't see my husband in the hospital. That's not
Yeah,
emotional
that's
blackmail.
not.
No, that's
I mean, that's
a
what
realistic
Christians
description
say.
of what can happen if you don't allow them to be spouses in certain cases.
It's
Yeah.
the
Really? Because that's not
importance
the case.
of
You
the
can make somebody
marriage.
your medical proxy in like 10 minutes at a lawyer's office. Like it's not hard to
Oh,
do.
hey, I know you're in the ER. I'm gonna go to find a lawyer at 3 in the morning and get a
Yeah.
fucking medical
Well, I
proxy
think
exemption.
I think he means by preemptive planning. I mean, even I could do that right now, or
Right
not
now, I
right
can make
this
Sarah my
second,
medical
but
proxy with
Sarah's
nobody.
not
oh,
gonna do that,
actually,
Sarah.
Zoom legal, you probably could, and then just having it filed, yeah. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody would be able to stop me.
Empathy is not emotional blackmail. You can have
Ugh.
emotional
Making
blackmail
decisions
that
from
tugging
empathy
on
is a really
heartstrings,
bad
but
idea.
It's what?
I think empathy is not inherently bad. But if you're ignoring logic for empathy, sure, yeah, but that's not what's happening here. So
that's not what's happening here. So, okay. Yeah. Who says that? Soy pill. You say that? Oh my goodness. See, so look, Speakeasy takes off his hat.
oh, is he doing it? Is he taking off the? Okay, Charlie, I gotta go with Speakeasy. This man
He
has
did it.
pretty fucking luscious hair.
How
I'm not-
much-
So not only does she fucking look at her seething right there because she got proven wrong on everything. Not only she got proven wrong on this whole stupid debate, but she even got proven wrong that he's bald. Fucking fail. So this is pretty much the end of like the debate, and then they kind of move on to the open panel. Okay, so let's go with the timestamps that I wrote down. This is when I was trying to sleep, but then just stupid shit just kept coming out, and I had to write down the timestamps because I was like, I got to talk about this shit. So here we go. First up, hour 18. Let's see. Why did I save this? Because I don't remember all of this.
Clinics there, and they have public.
That's
health
not
care.
true.
I mean, it says that
You
in this
can
article I'm reading. I
protest
trust
outside
that,
of.
but
Yeah, there's
abortion
literally a
clinics.
Planned Parenthood not long, like a 10-minute drive from where I live, and there's people there protesting every day. So that's not true.
Well,
Oh yeah, because I guess I think he lives in Canada. Speakeasy.
well, maybe they changed it since
We have a
August
right to that
31st,
over here.
2022. But would trust you over me to know about Canada.
Anyway, I also don't think that showing pictures of what abortions actually look like would be very effective because if you have a uterus, it just looks like period if it's a medical abortion. Just
Have you ever
looks like
seen a
whole
late-term abortion?
period. I have not, but
This is
most
just
people
just,
are not seeking out
Just
late-term
not
abortions.
true, but
You
okay.
should look it up.
It just looks
No,
like
I know for sure what a medical abortion looks like. I assure you.
Why? Because you
Keep that in mind. She goes, so on one hand, she's never seen the pictures from a late term abortion yet. Oh, she knows what it looks like. Make it make sense. So then Speakeasy says this.
had one. Oh, wow.
I will
Or
never
You're gonna use your
confirm nor
anecdotal
deny,
experience to tell us
but
what
I
it
know
looks
what
like.
they look like. I
Fuck
promise
okay,
you.
man.
I want to
know.
correct myself, Speakeasy. It's several provinces, not states. Several provinces have it prohibiting protesting on the sidewalk outside of abortion facilities. Apparently, you don't live in one of these, or they've changed the law since then. So
Yeah, and the point is that the reason I brought this up is that number stays the same, right?
Yeah. So right there, she says, I neither confirm nor deny, which kind of implies that she has had one, but she doesn't want to admit it. That's what that implies. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, but you would assume that if she didn't have one, she would just say, no, I've never had one. But she didn't. She said, I neither confirm nor deny, meaning she probably did, and she doesn't want to admit it. Again, I don't know that for sure, but it's kind of weird, right? Now, keep that in mind because that gets brought up for later. So I think that's all I wanted to share there. Now, let me get to this next one, an hour and 31.
Everywhere, right? Obviously, we want the ban everywhere. We don't just want it in certain
Yeah, I'll turn up the sound a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Here.
states. We want it every state.
right,
So,
but again, we're
What do you
talking
mean
a
we?
reality and not
Again, I
fairyland
need
where
you to
can
stop
implement
saying
this
we,
freely.
bro. You are Canadian. I hate it when
hey,
Canadians.
bro, I voted for
they
Trump too,
start-
stupid. I'm a dual citizen. Shut your dumb ass up for a
Man.
minute. Stop talking while people
You
talk.
voted for Trump. You're
Yes,
did you become an
yes.
American?
I
What are
got
you
to vote.
originally?
Yes, yes.
What are you
So
originally?
shut up for a minute. You're
Are you
talking to me.
American
Well,
or
Charlie, we don't have to
Canadian?
make the racist
You're fucking
arguments.
dumb.
Okay, we
Yeah,
accept him
no,
now.
I
He's
am
got the
right now. Were
citizenship.
you
I accept
American or
him.
Canadian originally?
I'm a dual citizen.
Okay, but
Do you
where are
understand what
from?
that means?
No
Where are
man
you
can
from?
serve two masters.
Oh,
She doesn't
Holy
understand
fuck.
it, frankly. Not that
Where are
bright.
you from?
Dumb as a fucking stump you
Where
are.
are you from?
How'd you
Where are
get
you
up
from?
into debating?
I
Like,
came in here
you
and I
should
heard
have
All
been a
right,
living
Next.
channel or
Wait, are
something.
you living in
Next.
Canada? Oh,
I mean, he's right. How did she get into debating? Why does she do this? She sucks at it. And also, too, it's funny because even Soy Pill, like Soy Pill has to go in there because she starts sounding, she all of a sudden starts kind of sounding like a nationalist, doesn't she? Sounding like some kind of nationalist asking, where are you from? You voted in our elections? Where are you originally from? Huh? Tell me. She's sounding a little nationalist there. And even Soy Pill is like, shut up. Listen, we accept them. We don't care about that stuff because lefties are, they don't care about this shit. They want anyone coming in here and voting in our elections. They don't care about that shit. So she's making them look stupid because they're all about the people coming in here and voting in our elections. They love that. And so Soy Pill knows that it makes him look hypocritical. So even he's trying to be like, no, we like it, Charlie. No, we're cool with it. We accept him. And she's like, no, where are you from? So I thought that was funny. Nationalist, American nationalist, Charlie over here. Wow. So what is that? Okay, so now a minute and an hour and 34.
Seven thousand babies born in 2023, 397,000 babies born in 2024, 600,000 babies born. Are you lying, ma'am?
Is that a true story, Wi-Fi, or are you just saying stuff? Is that a true story? Holy cow, that's wild if that's true.
I
Did
think
she
somehow
freeze
they
or
think
is
this
she?
counteracts the study on like birth rates, and rates have to do with the rate and not the number. And if the
Mhm.
population's increasing, there's going to be more people. But if the birth
Yeah.
rate's decreasing, that's kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
She was transitioning in her teenage years? That's wild. What the hell? This girl is fucking wacko. What? Oh, I gotta find that stream. Thank you, Wi-Fi, for that piece of gold. After this, I'm gonna look that up. All right.
Percentages.
Okay. Amy,
All right. Well, that one, that part right there, I thought it was funny because she just went silent. I remember I was falling asleep and I was like, did my phone freeze or did it close for some reason? Like, but no, it's just she just went silent because she doesn't got anything. So, all right, let's see now. Let's
Actually see a
or-
pretty significant drop in abortions to the way that people want them to go away. Unfortunately, they're also trying to
What's
get
the
rid of contraception.
restricted access you're talking about?
Like, let's just say abortion was just illegal in every circumstance, but everyone had a complete and total, like, universal access to contraception. I
Wait,
think
I asked you.
That's what
what's
we're
the-
asking.
What's
What
the
do you mean?
restriction we don't have right now? Like, who can't
Like-
go get condoms, bro?
no.
I think it's
When
more
I
like
say-
religious stuff.
First of all,
But
people are trying to ban contraceptions in a lot of places, but what
Cool.
I'm
That's
saying
not
is-
what I asked
What
you.
I'm
though.
saying is universal access to birth control. I'm saying that it is like free, and it's like there's a fucking
You know what
Planned
birth
Parenthood.
control
Free.
does to women? You know, do
It
you
makes them not
understand
have
all the
babies.
negative side effects that come with birth
I'm
control?
very aware of it. Yeah,
Yeah. So
he?
why would you want to promote this?
so that we have fewer unintended pregnancies, which
I mean,
leads
you
to
could just tell
abortion.
people to stop fucking until they're ready to
Right.
have children. That is
Or
not.
Why
anyone
isn't
can
there
only
only
get
called
anyone
abstinence
can
only
only
the
have
only
the
way we
same
can
sex.
still be degenerate
sex
but not get
only
pregnant?
now.
Like, what is this? Dude?
I know telling people not to have sex works for you, stillborn, but most people want to have sex, and unfortunately, you have to
Mhm.
No,
kind of like
I'm not saying
do
that.
other
So what a jackass Soy Pill is. So okay, so first of all, like earlier he said that he's like people should have unlimited access to birth control. And they didn't ask it then, Speakeasy and Steelborn, but now they did, and I was happy they did because I was thinking when he said that originally, I was like, what does he mean by universal access to birth control? Does he just mean free shit? And yep, right there, free shit. Well, if you don't want us to have abortions, you just give us free fucking condoms and free fucking birth control. Like these people, they just got gives. They want to be babied at all points of their fucking life. Like, there's already universal access to birth control. They sell condoms everywhere. You can get access to birth control and all these things. Why does the government have to hold your fucking hand just so you don't murder babies? Why is that the threat? Well, give us free shit or else we're going to murder our babies. And yeah, exactly. Stillborn brings up, or you can just promote abstinence. And Soy Pill is like, well, unfortunately, people want to have sex. Yeah, we know, dumbass. People want to do all sorts of shit. Does that mean they should? That's the whole thing. Do you not have any self-control? Can you not say no? Like, no self-control, this dude. Well, people want to have sex. Yeah, obviously people want to have sex. But we need to tell them maybe they shouldn't because it could lead to unwanted pregnancies. You know? It would be like saying, oh, well, people are dying from heart attacks and obesity. And it's like, then they should have universal access to cholesterol medicine and heart surgery and all this stuff and Ozempic. And then it's like, and it's like, if you want to stop that, then they should have universal access to this. And then someone says, or we could tell them to maybe not eat so much. And then he goes, yeah, well, some people just want to eat. Yeah, no shit, they want to eat. But maybe we should tell them not to. God. All right. What is this? All right. I think there's one more and then we're done.
Introduce more progressive sex education that tells people that you shouldn't feel shamed for losing your virginity, fewer people are going to say, oh, I totally have my virginity intact. And they're going to say, yeah, oh, it's okay to admit that I don't have it. Like in the 80s versus like the 70s, or if we go back to like the 50s and shit, where they would do like fucking hymen checks on wives before marrying them. Yeah, like of course.
Jesus.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about
Do
is
you
if
have
you
the
look at
stats on that?
actual abstinence-only education and how ineffective it is in stopping teen pregnancy, but then you bring up a study of, hey, we just asked people whether or not they are virgins, and like,
Weird,
yeah,
you
it
tried to
went
use
down
that
over-
as an argument earlier, and then you used my argument against it. That's
yeah. The
funny.
difference is
I think you
women
just
usually don't
another-
lie
Nobody would
about
ever
getting
lie about having
abortions.
an
win.
abortion.
The difference is women
We
usually
win.
don't lie about getting abortions. If
Cook.
anything, they would be more likely to say, no, I wouldn't, because of a lot of people shaming them, versus people are definitely lying about, I have my virginity intact.
Hold on
And
a
there's like
Do you think that they were being asked by their mom and dad, dumbass? They were being
Oh my
asked by
God.
fucking research teams they didn't
Yeah,
know.
they're
And it
still
was
not
totally
gonna
anonymous.
say yes. What the fuck? Also, I do think that my generation having less sex than our parents, millennials and Gen X, that counts for something. We have more sex ed than ever, and Gen Z is not blinking.
Yeah, but
Didn't
yeah,
you
even
just
if I
say
grant
earlier
this
you
study,
had a
just so
medical
you know, like we
abortion? I
can
wouldn't
look.
use yourself as an example here. You're an example of why we
So-
should ban it.
So he brings up, didn't you say earlier that you had a medical abortion? Which, again, keep in mind, we just watched this a little while ago. She says, I neither confirm nor deny. So let's see how this plays out.
What?
Didn't you just say earlier you had a medical abortion?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't?
I think she
that
said
wasn't
she
what
would.
you used
I
as your
I said
as
I
your
would. I
example
also
of how
said I
you
know
what it
I
looks
know
like.
what a medical abortion
That isn't
looks
what
like.
you
I
said?
told you
All right,
that I know what
backpedal
one
now,
looks
though.
like. I didn't
Backpedal
say that I
now.
had an
No,
abortion.
she did, to
Okay.
clarify. She did say if she did, because she was talking about the adjacent state and going somewhere else to do. She would in fact do that if she
No,
needed
she
to.
said she knows what it looks like because she said that it looks like just a period. And I said, is that really what you think? And she said, I know. So
I do know
That
what it
doesn't mean
looks
she
like.
did it.
So how do you know?
to
We're
be
implying that you have personal experience.
I've
Okay.
actually
Shit,
been in
hold
the
on.
warehouse
Backpedal
where
it now,
Charlie
that's
force
fine, though.
feeds mifepristone.
I mean,
to be fair, I've seen a lot of videos on it. I've seen it like on videos, so that I'm just trying to make sure we're not putting words in people's mouths that don't
Yeah.
belong.
Speaking
That's
of,
all.
I've seen beheading videos, and I want to make it clear to everyone in chat, I've never beheaded a single person.
So she lets that go, right? So again, like, yeah, granted, she didn't say she had one. However, she did say, I neither confirm nor deny, kind of implying that she did. And keep in mind, this was after she said, trust me, bro, I know what it looks like, even though she said she's never watched any videos. And then when they asked her why, because you had one, she said, I neither confirm nor deny. But she doesn't come out and say that. She allows Sarah to defend her, which I don't know if Sarah was paying attention to that whole thing or not, or maybe she just forgot. But no, there seems to be some kind of implication there earlier that she did have one, and that's how she knows what it looks like. But she kind of just allows that to slide and allows Sarah to kind of defend her, and then they kind of move on. But no. She said, I neither confirm nor deny. She didn't say anything like I saw videos. In fact, she said she didn't see videos because they said, have you ever seen a video of a late term abortion? She said, no. They said, you should look it up. She said, well, I know, trust me, I know what it looks like. That's what she said. We all saw it just a little while ago. Anyway, I'm horrible with names, but the MILF is sexy. Okay. Kyle Reese, shouldn't she be going out there protecting Sarah Connor? What are you doing here, man? What are you doing over here simping for Sarah, huh? Shouldn't you be out there trying to fight off the T800, huh? Kyle Reese, get back out there. Protect Sarah Connor, huh? She has a savior to birth, okay? Eddie Furlong or John Connor, you know? What are you doing here, Kyle? Anyway, regardless, yeah. So this is why I had so many thoughts on this debate. This debate was an absolute shit show. You had Steelborn and Speakeasy trying their best, actually trying to have a good faith debate here, trying to actually have a good debate. And you had these two good for nothing dunces here, Soy Pill and Chuck, aka Enemy Charlie, just absolutely dropping the ball. They're the worst. They're horrible debaters, especially Chuck. And Soy Pill dropped the ball because he had to sit there in White Knight and simp for Chuck and help her out whenever he felt she was stuck. So it was a complete shit show. This was awful. Good job to Speakeasy and Steelborn. What did you guys think about this? If you want to see the full debate, it is up on the Raging Tomato channel. I'll have the link in the description if you want to see the parts that I didn't cover. But if you liked it, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel as well. Leave a comment down below, letting me know what you think. If you like this, if you want to see more of Soy Pill or Chuck looking like jackasses or these libs getting owned, I have a channel full of this type of content that I think you'll enjoy.